a big one Sunday. What are you watching?
Oh, Saints pass rush on Brady. Listen, revamped offensive line. They already get after Brady. After week 1, he's talking about the bumps and bruises on his podcast. They flat out torture him. Look at the stats right here. You got most turnovers and sacks taken in a game. Look at him. Saints. That's what they do. 4 times in 2 years. This thing could get ugly in a hurry, but I am excited to see how Brady and this Bucs offense will adjust to it. Will they run it more? Will they establish those things they did against Dallas? Or will they go back to, run and gun type offense?
Well, let's touch on it. You just touched on it. Let's hear it. So Brady on his podcast, Let's Go, shed some light on his struggles beginning his 23rd season. Listen to what he said.
What am I dealing with now? I woke up today going, holy shit, that was there was a few hits and you look at your arm and you got bruises, you got cuts, and you got, the way it is, and you go, okay, how much longer do I want to make this commitment? And I obviously made the commitment for this year, and everything's going to be, like always, continue to evaluate, all these different aspects of playing.
Wow. That's week 1.
Yep.
Look, I commend him for the honesty, but if he's, you're my relationship specialist here. What did that sound like to you?
He sounds like he's a man who's trying to process where he is. He sounds like he wants to divorce the game.
Whoa.
And can't let it go. Like he almost, you could feel the feet are like 1 foot out the door. Like you always knew he's 45. Okay, so at some point he's going to be done. But he just sounds like a guy who's really, when he's on the field, he's focused. But when, it's week 1 and we're already counting the bruises and the lumps.
He's been in control since he left New England, very much in control of what he puts out in the media. So maybe I'm just a skeptical guy, but it's his podcast. And he wants us to talk about this. I can't imagine that. I know they say once you start talking about retirement, you're already retired. He actually retired and came back, and now he's talking about retirement. He can't be foolish enough, I don't think, to give us this ammunition unless he wants us to have it. He might throw for 500 yards this week. He's just trying to give us a storyline. And I would like to thank him for that. So, yes, Tom Brady, he's done. He's spent. He's mentally checked out.
He got somebody filming. All behind the scenes, he'll be ready to release it. Right as soon as it is, he'll have a whole new show. Watch his documentary. Come check me out. TV12 Method at 45. Look at me after week 1. Week 2, I'm back again.
He's going to sell like
control us a little bit.
300 pair of underwear off the strip of him doing that. Well done, Tom Brady. Hell of a businessman.
All right, so I'll be the gullible one who says that he's going through a lot of stuff in his life, and I think this is a person who is actually in a very introspective place. And I think this is genuinely what he's thinking. He woke up thinking, man, I know I made this commitment and I'm in, but boy, this was not an easy decision. And it's not, you guys all know better certainly than Kimberly and I do. Not easy to be a football player. And with all the stuff he's got going on in his life right now, I actually think he might just be telling you how he feels.
No, this is legit, Greeny. And I remember how hard it was for me to get physically prepared when I was 33. I can't imagine what it feels like at age 45. I mean, I used to have to get to the stadium 5 hours before kickoff just to get my body properly warmed up. Yeah. All of the different things that you have to do throughout the course of the week, that takes up a lot of your time, that takes up a lot of your energy, and you don't have it to give to other things, i.e. your family or other personal interests. And I think that's Tom Brady in his own way grappling with that reality, and he's being fully transparent. I don't think this is him wavering on his commitment to his teammates. No. And if anybody can buck that adage, that if you're thinking about retiring, you are retired, it would be the greatest football player of all time. I think this is Tom Brady just being fully transparent.
I think what it's showing people is how different people can be off the field than on the field. I will tell you, when Tom Brady walks in the building in Tampa, it is laser focused. There are blinders, and everybody around him sits up taller, understands the accountability that's going to be asked for, and what he is going to bring to the table. Whether he's wavering off the field, this dude does not waver on the field. And I'm telling you, one is not going to bleed into the other. He can keep it all out.
It's all foolishness. Tom Brady just selling drawers and stuff like that. Well done, Tom Brady. Well done.
Okay, everybody hold that thought. We have so much more on the NFL to do, but can't overlook the college football, which continues to roll along. We got Paul and Heather ready to go. Let's play a game of fact or fiction. Hey, Paul Feinbaum, if I were to say that the Cowboys believe he could return as soon as 4, and Jerry Jones, as usual, has high hopes for Dak's return.
I have seen it just look hopeless and walk out there and the David Slay, the giant. I've seen it done. And at the same time, we played, get by us a little time here, catch it up a little bit, get Dak back out there. He's very capable of coming past this injury and having a great season, I emphasize that. If he didn't have it and we didn't have it, it would be different, but we do.
All right, so Jeff Saturday and Dominique Foxworth have both been in lengthy negotiating sessions with Jerry Jones. That's a speech you've heard before, isn't it?
Listen, this is what I see. I see wrestling. I see Undertaker. Pop up! We're back, baby! We're back in action! I mean, we are on life support now. Clear paddles were given. Dak is back. There ain't nothing better. There's nothing better than Jerry selling you 1 + 1 is 3, y'all. In my world, I got to be in that, y'all. He is right there. He is motivating this team. And listen, it's a fact. Without Dak, their season is over. He's just selling the hope, and he's doing a good job at it.
All right. In the meantime, Kimberly Martin actually does the reporting. And so the question is it realistic that he could be back on the field? Everything I've seen on our screen, it says 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Is it realistic that he's back and within 4?
Is it realistic? Yes, because I'm assuming Jerry Jones is not out here trying to be Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman or Dr. Phil.
Why would
Dr.
you assume
Oz.
that?
I'm going to hope that there are trained doctors and professionals talking to Jerry Jones and giving him this intel. But is it a possibility? Yes. The fear, though, it's his throwing hand. The fear, though, is that this is the franchise. So if he rushes back and something happens, then you have a setback. And that's the fear. I think there is pressure on Dak because, like you said, this season hangs in the balance and it rests on that hand.
You know, we were together, Dominique, you and I, when Jerry first made those initial comments yesterday. We were all taken aback by it. I know you expressed a lot of concern. Now, you've had a chance to sleep on it.
Yeah, you talked about negotiation sessions. One of the things we negotiated for is the right to a second opinion, and I hope Dak gets it.
Yes, second and a third.
Yeah,
second and a third.
And I hope the fans, I hope that they are not listening or at least not believing what Jerry is saying, because the definition of desperation is making biblical analogies in week 1. Like, we are already cracking open the good book. Like, he gonna turn water into wine. Like, he's gonna feed 5,000 people too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be easier to do. I think Jerry has a better chance of turning water into wine than the Cowboys making some sort of championship run this year.
Look, it is worth reminding everyone, Jerry Jones actually said 1 and 1 is 3.
Absolutely.
So
I don't know what kind of new math that is.
Well,
That's billionaire.
That's correct. When you're a billionaire, math can be whatever you want it to be. But
it's abstract.
Chris, all kidding aside, and it's impossible to do at this table, how are you concerned? How do you see the situation right now?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Jerry is talking out of school because we've seen quarterbacks deal with this particular injury in recent years. Think about last year, Russell Wilson having a thumb injury, having to have surgery, missed 3 games. A couple of years ago, Drew Brees, similar injury, you're talking about him missing 5 games. So that 4-game window, that's right in the range of what we saw those other 2 quarterbacks deal with. So even though the initial prognosis was 6 to 8 weeks, there is the potential for Dak Prescott to push it. And the one thing we know about Dak is that he's a top competitor. He'll do whatever it takes to get back on the field and try to help this team salvage the season. The only problem that I have with this is, did you see the first 3.5 quarters of that game on Sunday night before Dak Prescott got knocked out?
Yeah.
You're talking about the Dallas Cowboys having, 12 first downs? 12?
Yeah, it was
Nobody had fewer first downs. Yeah. Nobody had fewer points in week 1 of the National Football League than the Dallas Cowboys team. So, Jerry Jones, congratulations. You played yourself by allowing all of those guys on the offensive side of the ball from last year to leave the building.
Yeah.
Connor Williams, the highest graded Miami Dolphins player this past week.
Yep.
He was playing center for him. You're talking about La'el Collins, cap casualty with the Cincinnati Bengals, trading Amari Cooper, letting Cedric Wilson ride out.
Yep.
What did you think was going to happen? You were asking Dak Prescott to do more than a quarterback is capable of in terms of being a force multiplier, which is what landed you in this situation right now with your quarterback dealing with the injury after week 1.
Chris Canty brought receipts. It's like he's Robert Saleh all of a sudden.
Please don't put me in the same sentence as him. I actually won in New York.
Wow.
At any rate. All right, so that's
Write
where
that
we
down,
begin. We have a lot more to say about Dak, but there is another quarterback who's got entirely different kind of problem, and that is Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. We've seen it. He and the Packers wide receivers very much not in sync Sunday, and that includes, of course, the drop heard round the world on this, the very first offensive play of their season by the rookie Christian Watson. Rodgers was also sacked 4 times in Sunday's loss, more than in any game last year. It was a rough day, and Rodgers had